Mind that you take off your shoes before stepping inside.
I'm gonna keep my eye... Where in the world...
Zakia!
Our goods will be safe.
Get lost. Again, thanks for everything. This is your final warning. Out! Come here, you.
You need help!
Thump him!
Walla walla! Me casa cable! Yip yip go!
They'll
Have
come,
him!
and they're going to...
Get
Be
their
off
asses
with you!
kicked,
I bet.
Now go on.
Alright, a round of arm wrestling. Let's do this.
Let's get this over with. Don't think it's gonna be easy. Like this, it'll be easier for you. Don't worry, I'm okay. I'm gonna retire as an undefeated champion.
Typical! The noble mages conceal their only tavern in the cellar. Fun is probably a swear word for the people here.
Well, I never. Here, lad, fry yourself a piece of meat. You look famished.
Thanks.
So, what can I do for you? Would you like to replenish your supplies? Or maybe test your strength?
So, you provide supplies to the people here.
That's right. But it isn't always easy to fill all the hungry mouths. The work in the mines means the men are constantly hungry. Luckily, the gnomes don't eat very much. And when they're hungry, the garbage is also fine for them.
You give the gnomes rubbish to eat.
Of course. And I don't feel guilty about it either. They're not like those fancy mages. They don't give a toss if their sausage was lying in the dirt for a bit. The important thing is, it's nice and greasy and puts meat on their bones. Besides, I have to make do with what Rummold gives us.
Tell me about arm wrestling.
The rules are simple. Place your arm on the table and push. No bracing. Keep trying to twist the opponent's hand to the inside. That's how you'll get his hand on the table.
Who can I take on at arm wrestling?
I always arm wrestle straight after leaving work. It's a welcome change from the daily grind. Otherwise Hardwick and Downs turn up every now and then. When you see someone training at the table, chat to him, and he'll be happy to do a round with you.
Can you teach me anything?
If you have some ready cash.
I'm not good enough yet. What do you have to offer?
Choose something.
I have no meat to roast. What do you...
Choose something.
I have no meat to roast.
You are out of order, my friend.
What?
Choose.
What? Can you teach me anything?
If you have some ready...
I'm really not that good.
Now that's not on! Go away! Go away!
What? What?
Anyone who...
You needn't worry any more about the Shadow Lord in the west.
Why? Has he withdrawn?
No. He's been taken care of.
Are you telling me you had something to do with it?
I had something to do with it.
Impressive. One less problem on a list that is unfortunately still too long. Regardless, that's some achievement. Here. Whoever serves our cause shall not come away empty-handed.
Teach me something.
What would you like to know?
I'm not good enough at this.
It's going to happen. Psst.
What's going on?
Not so loud. Otherwise I'll be in trouble with the Guardians again.
Why do we have to whisper anyway?
The Guardians don't want anyone to ask for help.
Why? What's wrong with that?
Because my story just drives people crazy. At least, that's what Hardwick said.
What's your problem?
You want the short version or the long one?
The short one will do.
Okay. Until recently, my friends Tokel and Lena lived with me in the fisherman's hut. But one day, a thick fog rolled in. Really thick. Really thick.
Just get to the point.
Gosh, you're in a hurry. All right. I fled, and don't know what happened to them. Now I'm looking for someone to try and find them.
I'll take care of your friends.
Thank you. Finally. Someone's doing something for me. I think you should start your search at the fisherman's hut. But make no mistake, those beasts are nothing to be trifled with.
Lena is... well, let's just say she's seen better days.
You mean she's dead? Oh no.
The shadow creatures were thorough.
What terrible times we live in. Nonetheless, thank you for telling me about it.
Tokel is safe.
And I thought I'd never see him again. I take it you brought him here to the camp?
Yeah. It isn't safe out there. I did what you asked me. Where's my reward?
You shall have it. Here. All our most recent earnings. But say, could you do me another favor?
What is your problem?
The beasts that attacked our hut came from the southwest of the island. I'm sure there's something controlling these creatures. If it doesn't go away, more and more of them will descend on the island. Can't you take care of it and slay the being?
You can calm down. The Shadow Lord is dead.
Shadow Lord? That was the thing that attacked our hut.
That's what I assume.
I can't believe it. Take this. I will return to my hut and catch a few more.
Good. Take care of yourself.
It's good to know.
Jafar is greatest seafaring.
No more.
What do you sell?
Cookie.
I have no meat to roast.
Hom is all mad.
What can you teach me?
Just ask.
I'm not good enough yet.
The mages... You won't... We will win.
What can you teach me?
Just ask.
What can you teach me?
What would you like?
I'm not good enough at this.
Go.
You're not a guardian, are you?
No, the mages saved me, so I'm doing my share here in the camp. I don't know the last thing about magic, but I can forge a good sword, and a solid blade is a loyal companion in these times.
You've got to hand it to him. He's right. Without good blades, we're doomed.
What do you do when you're not at the forge?
I sleep.
Right.
Well, sometimes I have a little drink in the tavern after midnight. When you bang on the anvil as much as I do, sometimes your hand starts to get a little shaky. A strong drink helps to steady the bones, you know. And if you can have a drinking contest with someone on the same night, all the better.
What did the mages save you from?
It all happened too long ago for you to be remotely interested.
You're wrong. Tell me the story.
It all started back in the time when the Inquisition and the mages were still making common cores. I was already a smith then, and I was doing loads of overtime. I was so overworked that I forgot to fold one particular blade properly.
Okay, so you forged a bad blade, so?
But that's just it. That sodding blade ended up going to the Commandant, and of course, it snapped. He wanted to have my guts for garters, so I packed my things and went over to the mages. I'd never have made it without them.
So, returning to the Inquisition is not an option?
Definitely not. I hardly think they would welcome a deserter back with open arms. No, my place is here. The mages will accomplish what the Inquisition failed to do.
And that is?
Defeat the Titans, once and for all.
I think I've heard enough.
All right. I have another iron in the fire anyway.
Tell me about blacksmithing.
I owe the mages, so you'll have to pay me. But if you're afraid of sparks, you'll be a terrible blacksmith. If all you need is a better weapon, I can sell you one.
Teach me something. How do you forge weapons?
It's an art in itself. When you heat up the steel, you have to be careful that it doesn't get too hot. Otherwise, it will become charred. The same goes for tempering the steel. You can make steel almost as hard as glass. However, bear in mind that it will become both sharper and more brittle the harder it is. Just experiment until you find the perfect combination of hot and cold.
I don't have enough gold. Something smells funny here.
Well, my friend, it must be me. Well, not from me, but from the gunpowder. Shotguns are my life.
Can't you do magic?
Just think, what would I do if the crystal glove fails me? When push comes to shove, I don't like being unarmed.
Right.
I always say, what's better than a mage? A mage with a gun, of course.
What do you think about the mages?
Well, officially, they are, of course, the ones with the big plan. They're building a contraption that's meant to save humanity from the Titans. But all I care about is getting paid. I don't care where it comes from, or what I have to do to earn it.
What's your job with the Guardians?
I'm in charge of maintenance and repair of the firearms. We don't have many, but I'm the only one who knows anything about them. That's also the reason why I don't have to slog my guts out in the mines, or play the washerwoman like Vetranio here.
What's wrong with Vetranio?
He's useless, like most of the new arrivals. He thought if he could conjure a few sparks, he'd be the biggest fish in the pond. But that's not how things work. If you've got no skills, you're worthless.
Everyone has to start somewhere.
You, maybe. Not me. I was always a talented artisan. I'm just following my calling. Listen, if you want to learn about firearms, I'm your man. I can take those things apart and put them back together so fast that your head will spin.
Any advice you can give me on the way?
Just one thing. Keep practicing. Take me, for example. Every morning I do target practice on the stand. Most people here think it's a waste of time, but I say it's worth it.
Tell me something about firearms.
All right. What do you want to know?
Teach me how to shoot better with pistols.
Okay, listen up. It's best if you use pistols for short distances. For longer distances, well, that's what rifles are for. If you're in a fight, wait for the moment when your enemy is distracted, and then blam! You shoot him in the face. It's that simple.
I'm really not that good. I don't have enough gold. I don't have enough gold. I don't have enough gold. Let's see what you've got.
Do you think I'm blind?
Oiled crankshafts were rarely used in crossbows, despite their obvious efficiency. Since most shooters have started using firearms, likely no one there is interested any longer. A final specimen is said to have been owned by a lighthouse keeper on Calador. Oiled crank... since... I have no blueprint. I have no blueprint. have no blueprint. It's useless without the right key.
Listen, always pay attention to the person next to you. You have to cover each other's backs. You win in a battle with an attack, but defense wins the war. Pay attention to the battlefield, use the depths of the available space to wield your magic.
It's useless without the right key.
I still have to make...
Well, well. Look what we have here. What brings you to me? Knowledge of magic? No, someone like you will never understand that.
What do you want with the mages?
I take care of many things that the average soul could never comprehend. It is down to me, and me alone, to make sure our crystal gloves exceed all expectations. Thanks to the gloves, each guardian is able to focus the magic that we mages wield intuitively.
I want to learn how to use the crystal glove.
You? No. Only someone who serves the Guardians may receive this honor. Until you've been sworn in, you will be forbidden to use the crystal gloves.
Have you got any work for me?
I assume you're not offering to restructure our filing system, are you?
No.
Good. Gnomes could do it better than you anyway. But there's one thing you could do for me. The intensive study of magic often makes me hungry. And my palate demands delicacies from across the southern seas. If you find any specialities on your journeys, I'd be prepared to buy them from you.
And as for your delicacies, would you like something special on your plate?
What kind of question is that? A gourmet like me always eats the most exquisite food. An exquisite cheese, a delicious ham, or some dainty mussels. That is how I prefer to dine. Top it off with an aromatic wine.
Any idea where I might find your specialities?
I heard that the demon hunters on Calidor serve a delicious ham. I also know of a pirate who's a master of brewing. I believe his name is Bruce. As for the mussels, you'd best look on Antigua. And the cheese. Well, Zacharias, head of our order, had a unique one delivered recently.
I'll see what I can find.
Excellent. But don't even think of serving me something common. I don't want to be sick.
Let's see what I've got. I think some...
Come back as soon as you've got everything. I don't want to be kept waiting.
And as for your delicacies, what do you have to offer?
Have a look around.
Nini!
I still...
Huh?
Oh, you not magic man. Busy see right away.
Impressive. You're clever.
Yep, busy bring delivery dinghy. Not always right sorted, but with time I get better. Without help of Gnu, big chaos.
Do the mages treat you well?
If busy sped at helpo, magic men smiler.
I understand. The mages are happy with you if you work hard.
Yip yip, that's why work lots, no blah blah. Master Lumbrock always say, speech is silver, violence is gold.
Its speech is silver, silence is gold.
Homie sure?
Very sure.
No, no. No, no.
Nichts tacky, okay?
Don't you dare pocket anything. Well, well. Reason for your stay on Tarannis?
I want to become a mage.
How noble, yet simple-minded. Only a few are capable of working intuitively with magic, but our guardians use an alternative method. If you want to be able to command magic, fulfill the tasks assigned to you by General Magnus. But let's get on with the procedure. I will document and archive your arrival. Every bit of information could be important.
Well, if you say so. Can you teach me things?
If you give me the necessary small contribution, that should be no problem. I can't teach you any spells, of course, unless you're one of us.
Why do you need all this information?
There has to be an institution of some sort in this time and age that consolidates the knowledge of all mankind. If we lose that knowledge, we lose all chance of a future. Just thinking of how much knowledge was lost during the conflict with the Inquisition makes me shudder.
Can you tell me something about the shadows?
Let me think. It's not the first time that their kind walks this earth. Something is driving them on, but I can't say what it is. All I know for sure is that if they're not stopped, the existence of mankind hangs in the balance. But thanks to our reactor, we're equipped for the challenge.
How were the shadows defeated back then?
Your perspicacity astonishes me. This question is indeed worth considering. I don't think that people back then could have created anything like our reactor. Maybe the demon hunters or the natives will be able to provide the answer. But I wouldn't expect any sensible answers from their hocus pocus.
Teach me something.
Let me see what you can already do.
I don't have enough gold.
Wiry physique, distinctive facial features, interesting.
Sorry, not interested.
What? No, I didn't mean it like that. Allow me to introduce myself, Ilvar, paranormalist and precision engineer. It's in the nature of my profession that I always examine my surroundings very closely.
What on earth is a paranormalist?
An inquisitive student, most excellent. My area of research is other worlds that are invisible to the human eye. I combine the results of my research with my artisan skills to manufacture various oculars. When you look through one of my oculars, your vision will increase by 500%.
So what can your oculars make visible?
In layman's terms, they grant you a differentiated look into the astral sphere, depending on the prism you use. The knack here is to catch the particular wave band to give you the required result.
In layman's terms, right.
Please excuse me. The frequent disputes with my brothers here mean I sometimes find it difficult to use a more polite manner of speech.
Don't worry about it. Could you sell me an ocular?
Oculars, no. But the prisms you need for them, yes. Only if you join our covenant. Discuss it with General Magnus.
Dispute? I thought you mages stick together.
If only you knew. For instance, take this old codger Nurgle. He sits in his cellar all day looking after his plants. But the crystals are the reason we are here on Taranis at all.
Can you teach me something?
We'll see.
I don't have enough gold.
Nini? No, no.
I know nothing about crystal magic. I'm not a goldsmith. It belonged to the leader of the expedition that discovered the Fountain of Youth. But he died before he could imbibe the deadly water himself. The vial is said to be buried on Tacarigua. I see. Too difficult.
Stop! Master Lumbrock's private quarters are not the place for you.
Is that so?
Yes, and my orders were extremely clear. Nobody is allowed to enter, and I'm sticking to that.
Let me through.
Without good reason, no.
I'll be back.
That's what they all say, but there's no barging in here. Stop!
Let me through.
Without good reason, no.
I'll be back.
Hey, which part of no don't you get?
I'm not a goldsmith. It belonged, but
I still have...
Let me go to the forge. Teach me something. I don't have enough gold. The lock is too intricate for me.
I hate insects.